with regards to lag interpretation. However, this part, hindi ko na siya tinuro kasi I assume that you know this one. But I'll be reiterating this with regards to using of the semi-lag. Kasi pansin ko, some of you are struggling in using semi-lag plots. I'll be giving you an example. With Cartesian uh, plots, I think I don't have problem with such. But in terms of semi-lag, I think you are struggling with such condition. I'll be sharing my screen. Kindly inform me if visible na po siya. Give you one example. Visible na po ang ating screen.
Yes po.
Okay, we'll start with basic muna ha, with regards to this one. So I'm using my phone as my mic since hindi ko dala ang laptop ko. Saglit. Ito na lang, okay. Rinig at this, okay. Laksan ko na lang boses ko. If hindi rinig, just notify me ha. Okay, for Cartesian, we don't have any problem with such kasi we just have to get the increments per ano tawag dito, per grid. Then, para makuha natin yung increments niya, we subtract the difference between the lower limit to the upper limit from the upper limit. So that's 250 minus negative 250. This is for the diameter. Right? Yeah. So the difference for this is 500, and you count the divisions of grids. That's 10. You divide it by 10. That's 500 divide 10. So every increment accounts for 50 in terms of the value. Okay, so that's for the Cartesian. We don't have any problem for that since yun naman ay basic knowledge. However, it would be a different case when we use semi-lag or yung semi-lag plot. One example is this sweat and deep resistivity. So as you can notice, with regards para before we proceed to this one, wala naman kayong question with ano, 'di ba? With Cartesian. So we can proceed now with semi-lag. So as you can notice, the lower limit is 0.1. So that's pertaining to ohms meter. Then the upper limit is 1,000. So yung pagkuha ng values nito kada grade kasi as you can see there are unequal grids for semi-lag. No. So we have 0.1. So this one here is 0.1. This is 0.2. So yung increments po niya is naka-based doon sa first value. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. Then we have 1, 1.0. Ba't di mag-control Z? Saglit lang. This is 1.0 or 1. So we have a new increment. We have 1 for our increment. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10. Yung magiging basis natin is yung malaking gap within the grid. Yung malaking grid na para siyang magmumukha ng landscape rectangle. So ganito yung tsura niya. No. So that is your go signal to change the increment. We have 10. So the increments for the next is 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Then 100 would be our new increment. Normally, sa semi-lag, yung ating ano is divisible by 10. So that's just 10 raised to negative 2, 10 raised to 1, 10 raised, and so on and so on. Then we have 100 as our increment, as our new increment. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, blah, 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 up until 1,000. So as you can see, nag-fit yung lower limit and upper limit natin. Do you have any question with that? Clear po tayo with the value for semi-lag? Okay, so this is just basic. with regards to semi-log. So, for example, we have to compute, di ba, we have a depth here of 500. Then we have 550 here. And if you could notice, semi-log po siya. In the x-axis, it is logarithmic in nature. But in the y-axis, it is Cartesian. So, it's just equal. Equal lang yung magiging ano niya. Increments per grid. So, kaya po siya semi-log. If you're familiar with log, so one of the subjects that is teaching such is yung well test analysis and also yung reservoir engineering too. So I hope some of you are familiar with log, semi-log, and Cartesian. So we have 500 here as our, this is the obvious value. We have a value here and 550. If you could notice, let's count the grids between these two values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. If you could notice, this is worth 25. And if you are to relate it with the remaining depth, this is just the same, 25. So meaning there is 50 units of grids here, and there are 50 grids. So that is one grid is equal to 1 unit. Okay, so yun yung po yung ating increment. That's one unit per grid. Okay, gets po. So ibig sabihin, if we are to ask, let's say we have, this is, kaya siya pababa, syempre palalim yan. So palaki ang value ng depth. Okay, so we have, let's say, we are asking for the deep resistivity of, however, for deep resistivity, makikita naman siya, ma-differentiate naman natin siya. Yung wet resistivity is straight line, tapos yung deep is graded, or ano siya, ang tawag sa ganito. Basta yan. Kita nyo naman siya. Kahit yan ay walang kulay, you can see the difference. Okay, let's say we have this one. Ano bang value to? Ang pinahanap siguro sa atin, let's say we have 523. That's 23 ba ito? Hindi pala siya 23. 10. This is 13, if I'm not mistaken. This is 513. Let's say, ang pinahanap is 513. So you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is 513. At this depth, you can see that there is a difference between the wet resistivity and the deep resistivity. So when we are being asked of the true resistivity, we pertain to the deep resistivity. Tama? Yeah, that's one of the basic knowledge in resistivity logs. So we are talking about deep resistivity. Let's say we are asking, or we are getting the value of the true resistivity, or RT. So we get it from the gridded line. As you can notice on the gridded line, siya ay somewhere in between nito. Tama, yun yung value niya. So, if you could remember, this is 1, and increments po na is 1, 2, and 3. So, that is somewhere between 2 and 3. So, if you can make an wild guess, you will have a value of 2.5 as our true resistivity. Nakuha po. Nagets po iyon? So, 2.5 po iyan. So, what if yung ang hinahanap natin is, let's say, 5.13, 5.13, 15, let's say 5.15.4, 0.5 pala, 5.15.5. Di siya ay somewhere here. Di ba? That's the value. Tapos ang pinahanap sa atin yung wet resistivity. The wet resistivity is yung continuous line. So this is its value. So as you can notice, based on so tomorrow, I'll be having some commercial. Tomorrow you are to bring 4 colors of pen. So I specified the colors. That's black, red, blue, and green. Okay? Clear po tayo doon? Also, you would be bringing calculator for simple calculations. Sim- though simple siya, syempre, it involves exponents. So, you need a calculator for such. Also, I recommend but I don't require you to bring ruler. Okay? So, hindi ko kayo nire-require but I highly recommend you bring ruler for your convenience na rin. Okay, going back. So, we have this value. Diga, it's somewhere here. And if we trace it back to the top, that's 1 unit away from 10. And we know that from 10, yung increment po niya is 10. So, that's just 10 units away from 10. So, that's pertaining to a value of 20. Okay? Clear po tayo doon. Are we clear on that? On how we read the semi-log and Cartesian um, plots from these logs. Okay, so we have already the basics. So let me just have some recall with regards to uh, yung mga na-discuss po nating mga topics, no? So, first, we have, syempre, yung pinaka-common or the easiest among them all, if I were to ask, is yung gamma ray. Okay, for gamma ray, nga pala, I'll be resharing muna. Balik muna tayo din eh. Kasi, saglit for a while. Kita na po uli. Okay. So, please be careful in using or in interpreting values kasi we will have meron kasi in different cases. One is yung left side of the log is less than the right side, which is the example is itong deep resistivity. Okay? Pero may cases po tayo, let's have this porosity analysis, wherein the right side ay yung mas mababa. Normally zero. Then the value, yung may value is yung nasa left side. Kagaya nito. So you need to be careful with such. Okay po. Clear po tayo doon. So you first need to look at the values doon sa ating header. Yung header ng ating log. Yung heading. Okay? Okay. So, I'll be, this is more of a vocal review. Kumbaga parang lang, more of reiteration of the one that we discussed. Okay, so let's go back to gamma ray. So for gamma ray, syempre, if the value, hindi ko sasabihin to the right or to the left ha, kasi it could be interchangeable. Pwedeng ang nasa left ang babang value, pwedeng nasa right ang mababang value. So it could happen depending on the header or the heading of our logs. So ang sasabihin ko is kapag may mababang value doon sa gamma ray reading, ibig sabihin most probably it's more of a clean sandstone or clean sand. Okay? So that is for the gamma ray. How on the other hand, kapag naman mataas ang value or mataas yung reading, so most probably it's more of a shale. That is in a general aspect. If you have to analyze it quickly, so it's yun yung magiging parang initial analysis mo for that. However, we are to consider different things. Meron diyang PEF, meron diyang density neutron. Sa density nga, iba-iba pa yan. Yung density, I'm not sure of yung density mismo. Sadyang wala. This is more of so you need to listen na lang carefully. So yung sa density, iba-iba pa yan. Ang given, it could be in raw B. 'Di ba? If you're familiar with our defense, yung Rho V, that's the bulk volume. Pwedeng ang density is bigay na ganon. Tapos meron ding given na dphi. That's the density porosity. That's already the value. Okay? Yun yung mismong value. So if we are to relate it, sige na nga, mag-ano nga tayo ng ano, para hindi tayo blank. Anong pwedeng sulatan di? Saglit lang ha. I'll be using... Pangit kasi sa Paint. Try ko aring ano, OneNote. Saglit lang for a while. Okay. Wala tayong hindi mag ano yung OneNote. So sa Paint tayo, no choice. Di ba we have different ano? Ano ba dito? Ang pangit. Saglit. We have yung ROHB. Ano, basta ano nyo lang, ang i-drawing ko lang, ang isusuot ko lang yung mahalagang parts. We have the raw, the bulk density. We also have dphi, dphi, that's already the density porosity. Ano, so you would be lucky if yung ating given is already in dphi and phi. So you just need to interpret its value. Then in order for us to find the porosity, we just need to find its average, assuming that it is an hydrocarbon zone. If you could remember during chapter 5 discussion. So that's only the value of density, porosity plus neutron porosity all over 2. So kapag gas zones naman, that's 2 times, if I'm not mistaken, yung naka times sa 2 is the density, porosity, or maalin. You just need to have a recap on that. Plus the other one, so let's say ang nakalagay is 2 times density neutron plus density porosity plus neutron porosity all over 3. Or baliktad, yung ang naka-times sa 2 ay yung neutron porosity. So you just need to check on that for gas zones. So assuming that it is water bearing or oil bearing, so we use the average only of those two. Okay. Then for the values naman of the RT, so kanina naturo ko na sa inyo yung RT. So RT is based on the reading of the dip resistivity. Normally, ang given natin is induction lag, so it is pertaining to ILD. So that's the induction lag or the deep induction lag tool. So kaya siya, that's the true resistivity kasi yun yung reading sa deep part or the deeper part of the formation o yung ating radius or diameter of investigation. Then kapag yung shallow at medium, so nagkakaroon tayo ng changes. Kasi in the flash zone, nag-iiba yung resistivity niya. Okay, so for our shallow, it is more of related with our invaded zone or yung flash zone resistivity. Then doon sa transition, yung doon yung sa medium. So sa deep is yung sa true or yung value mismo ng resistivity ng formation before tayo nag-drill or nagkaroon ng drilling. Okay, so that is the essence or that is the concept of resistivity. Next, We have already the gamma ray, the resistivity. Then we also have yung PEF or the photon electric factor. PEF is discussed under density. Siguro some of you are not familiar kasi hindi nakikinig sa discussion ng kaklase. With regards to PEF, PEF is under density, yung density group. No. So, generally speaking, if there is a low value or low indication for PEF or photoelectric factor, ano siya, mostly yung it generally indicates na siya ay less dense, so mababa yung density, and mababa yung Z lithology. So in other words, yung composition niya is yung mga lighter elements with lower atomic number. So yun yung mga mababang PEF values. Typical examples, we have sandstone, ano pa, limestone na merong mataas na porosity, and we also have coal and gypsum. However, coal and gypsum for this kind, paano mo siya ma-differentiate from sandstone and limestone? We look at the gamma ray. No. So if it has a low reading, so technically it's sandstone and limestone. No. So yun yung sa differences natin. Kapag naman let's have we have syempre pag mababa, less dense. Syempre pag mataas, high denser. So yun yung mga high Z lithology such as shale. No, so PF is more of sa lithology din. So it is more of a verification for verification purposes. Okay? Clear po tayo with regards to PEF? Before we proceed with the next one. For the next one, we have the NF or the DF or the neutron porosity and density porosity. Okay? For neutron porosity, if the reading is high, it suggests that it has high hydrogen index. So meaning yung rock natin contains high hydrogen or lot of hydrogen. So mainly, these are usually from fluids in pore spaces such as water, oil, or gas. So meaning, high value for NF indicates a reservoir or meron siyang presence ng reservoir fluids. So high NF often correlates with high porosity. That's why it's neutron porosity. So it is more of the value. Then, for DP, wait, let me have example ba ko dito? Saglit. Be opening this one. Where is that? Okay. So, let's differentiate between these three. Okay. So this is more of a clarification kasi it's not clarified or it's more of, kumbaga, it's a cliffhanger during your defense kasi I'm expecting that you know such concepts already. But some of the groups ay nagkaroon ng confusion with regards to such. Kasi iba nga yung ρB at dφ. So yung ρB, it's the bulk density. This bulk density, if you could remember the formula, the matrix density minus bulk density all over matrix density minus density of the fluid. So doon natin makukuha yung density, porosity. Okay, so anyways, for differentiation of these three reservoir fluids, kapag mataas ang reading sa density phi, that indicates gas, normally gas, lalo na kung malaki yung difference niya. So meaning, yung itsura niya is parang ganito. Tapos, let's say, ito yung neutron. Yan, parang ganyan yung itsura niya. Meron siya malaking difference. So that's the gas. So that's for the case of DC and NC. So magiging iba kasi yung case niya kapag ang ginamit naman natin is yung ρB. So yun yung nagiging confusion with regards to such. Okay? So we have here the difference between NC and DC. Okay? So That's for the gas. Mababa or mataas ang DP. Let's say this is from 0 to point, ano ba yung normal value for phi? Let's say 0.7. Yan. So, syempre, from right to left, so, ibig sabihin, itong density is the straight, so it's density, tapos ito yung neutron phi. So, pares yung porosity, ha? So, which has a higher reading? Di ba itong density? Kasi it's more inclined or mas malapit siya with 0.7. So, this condition indicates that there is a gas presence or it is a gas flow. Okay, so that's for the case of gas. For the case of oil and water, somehow, medyo mahirap i-distinguish yung difference niya when we look at the graph. However, para ma-distinguish natin, saan nga natin siya i-correlate or saan tayo magbe-base ulit ng differentiation between oil and water, everyone? Sino nakakatanda during our defense?
RT po.
RT? Or yung sa mismong resistivity niya or sa RT or sa resistivity. Knowing that hydrocarbons, oil and gas has high reading or high value for resistivity compared to water, since water somehow or mostly of the water is conductive in nature. So technically, yung reading for RT sa water is mababa. So if you have encountered, say, kasi normally yung yan is nagkakaroon siya ng crossover. Tapos medyo kaunti lang. Parang medyo kaunti lang yung difference niya. Tapos parang ganyan. Guess yun naman yung ano ko din. Hindi. Dali-diretso pala to. Yeah, parang ganyan yung tsura niya. However, para ma-distinguish natin yung oil zone at water zone, syempre we look for resistivity. So let's say yung resistivity niya reading is ganyan. Hindi. Tapos biglang bumaba dito. So you can already differentiate or you can already have the idea kung saan yung water oil contact or the oil water contact or OWC. As you can notice, there is a slight change of resistivity here. So you can already identify this as the oil-water contact. So this is the water zone, this is the water zone. And this is our oil zone. Next po. So ito naman ay lumabas sa inyong quiz. So I assume that you have already idea for such. Nagets ka? Guys. Okay, kasi yung sa case ng neutron at density, porosity for oil and water, we can generally distinguish or differentiate the two. So, magbe-base tayo sa resistivity. Clear po tayo doon? Okay. So, with regards naman sa di ba may question tayo doon sa quiz na alin yung na-identify na reservoir interval. So it could be, pag reservoir interval, mataas ang porosity, tapos ang permeability, generally speaking, we're talking about clean sandstone or yung mga mabababa ang gamma ray reading. So syempre, identify mo based doon sa gamma ray kung saan bumaba yung kanyang reading. So that is potentially, this interval here is potentially the yung reservoir natin, yung mataas ang porosity and permeability. So that's the general characteristics of sandstone. Clear po tayo? So kapag aquifer ang tinatanong, that's technically pertaining to the water zone. Okay? Baka kasi hindi nyo pa alam kung ano yung aquifer. Tayo aquifer sa discussion, sa exam, lumabas na sa exam, hindi po na aquifer. So that's pertaining to the water zone. Clear po tayo doon? Okay. So, I think for interpretation, kasi yung example natin would be 100% interpretation. So, meron tayo simple calculation and we have a qualitative interpretation based on the given logs. No? So, yan. Yun naman, na-discuss na natin ang PES, NC, and tapos we have, syempre, yung actually this is already basic, but I'll be reiterating this one. With regards to caliper and BS, are you familiar with BS? BS is the supposed borehole size. Then the caliper, siya yung, yun yung na-measure nating diameter ng borehole. Okay? So, yung BS, siya yung set nating borehole size. Then, yung ating caliper, siya yung true value or yung realistic value ng ating diameter ng borehole. So, for caliper, actually, you can have the idea kapag nagkaroon ng cavings. Are you familiar with cavings? Kasi this one, I think this is discussed already in petrophysics. Cavings yung nagkakaroon ng uka doon sa ating, we're talking about for this one. Paano dito? New page. Pag-control N, nagagaroon eh. Wala, di another, siya file. Lalakayan na lang natin. Yes. Paano ba i-zoom? I-zoom out ko na lang. Okay. Yan. So, let's say we are talking about the borehole Borehole to, dito lags or dito graph. So, normally yung mga hindi naman siya perfect na straight. So, ganyan siya. Tapos, dito muna tayo sa left side ng tapos, ito yung, let's say, ito yung right side ng ating borehole. Tapos nakita mo may ganyan. So, nagkaroon ng cavings or merong collapse yan. So, there could be several reasons for such. Cavings, uka. Tapos, pag halimbawa naman ay lumiit yung reading sa caliper. So, syempre, yung magiging reading dito sa caliper, lalaki. Paano naman kapag lumiit? Ang tendency, ang itsura niya, if you are to continue it, this one, let's say, yan. Magiging ganito siya. So, merong nabubuong mga mud filtrate or yung mga mud cake, kumakapal yung mud cake. So, yun po is, hindi siya advisable at some cases or at some circumstance, So, dapat yung borehole natin is all throughout siya ay constant. Kung, syempre, sa pagpalalim is pagliit ng borehole size natin. But generally speaking, dapat constant po yan. Tapos, nagkaroon, let's say, based on the caliper lag, lumaki yung value. So, most probably, nagkaroon ng cavings. Yan, na ganyan siya. So, ano yung hindi natin kumbaga parang normal lang siya, pero nangyayari. Kumbaga normal na, paano ba siya yan? Kasi may rare instances na ganyan, tapos yung naging, ng mud filtrate is ganyan din. So, tendency, sa caliper, same lang yung diameter niya, diga. But there's an anomaly in terms of, may cavings dito, tapos on the other side is merong, merong mud cake formation. So, yun naman ay some circumstances lang. But, in terms of it, kumbaga wala tayong pakido. No, so we are just after the caliper lag. So for caliper lag, yun nga, that's the diameter of our borehole. So you can already have the idea. For example, itong part na to, nagkaroon ng increase in caliper or yung increase in diameter. Tapos nalaman mo siya ay part ng sandstone. So ang magiging conclusion mo, siguro, soft formation siya. Normally kasi sandstone is soft formation. So, tendency, due to breeding, nagkaroon ng collapse. Since soft formation nga siya, let's say it is caused by the drilling fluid, it can be caused by the BHA itself or yung brick. So, nagkaroon siya ng, So, there are several factors on that part. So, you just need to have, or you just need to draw your conclusions with regards to such. So, any conclusion naman na acceptable is, kumbaga, I'll be considering it in terms of the grading value. Okay? Clear po tayo doon? Are we clear on that po? Okay. So, I think, meron pa ba tayo nakakalimutan? Meron pa pala. So we have a computation for the porosities. It's just the average of the density. So normally kasi, for the porosity in terms of density in neutron, density porosity and neutron porosity, normal po na magkaroon ng reading na negative kasi meron tayong headings na mayroong negative value, let's say negative 0.50. Tapos din niya ay 0.45. Hindi siya ay nakadecimal. So, if we're talking about porosity, yan naman po ay pwede natin i-convert into percentage. So, this is pertaining to, itong 0.45 is pertaining to 45%. Okay? So, yun yung nagiging reading. So, for such, if you're talking about density and neutron porosity, we accept the negative value. So, ano yung magiging catch dyan? Let's say, ang nakuha mong porosity for neutron is 0.20. Tapos yung porosity mo for density, naging negative 0.04. So, paano makuha ang average niyan? So, simply, add the two. So, we have 0.2 plus negative 0.4. So, that's ganito yung itsura niya. Maging minus siya all over 2. So, that is 0.16 divided 2, that's 0.08. So, yun yung ating magiging average or total porosity. Yan yung gagamitin natin sa Archie's equation, sa pagkuha ng water saturation. Okay? So, general advice, ang water saturation is just ranging from 0 to 1. So, if in case na makompute po nating water saturation is more than 1, so it's more of an undefined. So, merong cases na ganun. Doon sa nakita kong results or computations for water saturation, may cases na ganun. So, you considered it naman as undefined or siya ay somehow may anomaly. One example is yung negative density. So, nagkakaroon po ng corrections with regards to such. So, with regards to it, so you just consider its negative value, then we average. No. So, pero in reality, nagkakaroon po ng correction para ma-adjust natin yung density. So, this is just maybe caused by, let's say, nasa siya, na-identify mo, nasa zone siya na mababa ang gamma ray, so it's sandstone. Tapos, nakita mo, ang density niya ay mababa. Nabababa na siya ay, to the point na siya ay naging negative. Possible na it needs correction, and also possible na it is due to compaction. So, yung sandstone is compacted or mataas yung density niya. Okay? Compacted. Pag sinabing compacted, in terms of porosity, mababa siya, and also permeability. Though it is sandstone. Kasi normally, sandstone, generally speaking, is porous and permeable in nature. Nakukuhaga po yung mga interpretations natin. Kasi meron tayong mga conductive shales yan. Iba-iba kasi ang cases. Conductive shales, pag yung sinabing conductive shales, may lamang tubig. Yung naging reading sa resistivity, mababa. But it is conductive. Siyempre, kapag mababang resistivity, conductive siya. So, it indicates that it is conductive shale. And normally, shale are conductive. Pero meron din naman pong mga, hindi naman highly resistive, but kumbaga medium, in terms of resistivity, medium lang siya. So, wala siyang laman na Diyan papasok din yung SP-lag. No? Kaya sa SP-lag naman, so it's more of sa identification lang din of the lithology based on the electrokinetic potential with regards to yung readings or sa electricity. So, somehow related or somehow associated with gamma ray. Okay. So, we have the true resistivity. We have, true resistivity. The true or the total porosity. We have the true resistivity. Saan nga to? This is based on ILD or the deep induction lag. Then, for water saturation, di ba we have a formula? So, that's water, extend ko na ulit siya. We have a formula for water saturation. That's water saturation raised to n. So that's the saturation exponent equals to the cementation factor multiplied to water resistivity all over tawag din, porosity raised to M, tapos we have RT. Tama ba? Pa-double check nga if I could recall it right. So, in terms of the equation, hindi naman siya given. So, yun naman ay, madali naman siya tandaan. Tama ba? With regards to water saturation equation or the Archie's equation, you have the SW water saturation raised to, hindi, wait lang. With regards to such, kasi, di ba this is SW? Di ba normally ang A natin is 1. Kapag walang value, ang A natin is 1, ang M natin or the cementation exponent is 2, tapos as well as N is 2. Okay? So, ganyan. So, yung inyo, yung pagkakaalam ninyo is itong fraction naka-ratio sa 1 over N. Let's say, hindi ka this is SWN, ang N natin is 2. So, para makuha natin, i-rewrite ko lang ha. Baka kasi nagkaka-confusion kayo, bakit ang daming formula ng Archie? Pare-pares lang yan. Para makuha natin yung SW, hanapin natin ang square root nitong right side of the equation. So, square root, naka-ratio sa 1/2. So, that's technically ARW all over C raised to M or the cementation exponent RT raised to 1 over N or yung 2, 1/2. Nagets? So, same lang yan. Same lang ito with this one. So, para makuha mo yung value mismo ng SW, ito yung gamitin. Pero ito yung general equation for Archie. Gets ga? Di ba may nakuha yung A natin equal to 1 normally kapag di siya given. So, para maka-cancel out na yan, pwede mong lang is yung RW over C raised to M RT. Tapos yung C natin or the porosity, yun po yung na-compute natin for the total porosity. Then the RT is yung nabasa natin from the deep induction line. Okay? How about RW? For RW, the normal value for RW, yung pinaka-common na value is sa water resistivity ay 0.08 ohm meter. So yan po ay fixed. Kung hindi given, yan po ang value niyan. Pero kung given naman, hindi hanapin natin. Kasi meron tayong mga iba-ibang water. Iba-iba yung pwedeng brine yung present or it is in terms of salinity, mataas yung salinity niya. So technically, bababa yung kanyang resistivity kasi naging saline or naging tumaas na yung salt content niya. And syempre, pag taas ng salt content, naging mas conductive yung water. So bumababa yung resistivity niya. Okay? So normally, we use 0.08. This is ohm ha, hindi to 8. Yung omega. 0.08. Okay, I think that's it for our review. So yan, with the discussion that we had, I think you are already fully equipped with tomorrow's final examination. May questions ka with regards doon sa discuss natin? Guys? Ano yung tan?
Sir, ano po type na exam?
Interpretation nga. So, ano siya? Tawag din. Pure interpretation. So, I categorize it as problem solving na din. So, wala tayong essay. Hindi. Yung may questions kasi, may follow-up questions for the interpretation. So, more of, ano siya? Basta interpretation. Hindi ko na, yung general term is interpretation siya. But for the interpretation, you make it as short as possible. Kasi I won't be looking for long answers, pero I'll be looking for precise answers or yung mga direct to the point answers. Hindi yung mga habang answers lang. Okay? Kasi we can have different interpretations for such. So I'll be considering others depending on the supporting, let's say, for example, yung isa na-interpret na compacted yung sandstone dito based on the Based on the PEF or based on the, ano pa? Ano ba yung pwede pagbasehan? Based on the density, density porosity. So, yun. So, you can have yours, of course. We can have different interpretations, but syempre, we need to have it supported by facts based on the discussions that we have. Questions? So, 9:03. I think that's already enough. It's already late. So I'll tell you to siguro mag-aaral. Hapon pa naman. So, you can rest. Valid to rest before proceeding. Lion. Yung sa quiz. Wag bukas
Yes
lang,
po.
bukas. Sa Thursday na lang. Dalawa exam bukas Recording ito. So, lang sumabay pang quiz ng form eval. Di next na lang. Thursday na lang. Pati walang pasok ng Wednesday. May questions pa? Okay, so I think you're already ready. You're all ready for tomorrow's examinations, yeah. Kasi may prod egg. So I think that's all. So I won't be entertaining any questions. I give you already the chance at this point na magtanong. I won't be entertaining any questions related to what we discussed today or yung naging review natin here. Hindi nga ako naka-brace. Lagi nung siguro nag-iiba lang yung kapag nag-English. Okay, anyways. So, ano yung tan?
Napindot lang po.
So, yun. If you don't have any questions aside from that, so you may leave this meeting. Thank you for attending.